it's so nice to see that we can all be, virtually in the same room, because the rivalry with you girls is just so intense and it keeps escalating and I just can't stop watching. So Mary, maybe tell me a little bit about where we find Samantha and Tori at this season.
I was thinking at the end of season 2, episode 10, the moment when you hear Tori scream Miguel, and like the pitch that her voice hit, I remember my stomach just twisting and being like, oh crap, like what just happened? And even though like I knew where the story was going in terms of that moment, it was so guttural, like watching that. And it made me think like, oh yeah, maybe that could have been the thing that brought them together. Like Miguel getting injured might have been the thing that brought them together. But no, definitely not. We are far away from a reconciliation for these two. But I think that's the fun, the fun and also the reality. I think it's very true to the characters, not trying to rush them into a friendship, but rather being honest with the fact that they do not align. They do not get along on so many different levels. And that would take a lot of work to get there.
I can't help but see parallels between your two characters and Danny and Johnny, Danielson and Johnny, in the original. Are these like conversations that you have, or do you feel the same way, or are we seeing something different going to unfold here? What do you think, Peyton?
Okay, what's interesting is the fans are always the ones who show me these points, and they don't even work on the show. I work on the show when I'm obsessed with the scripts. I'm constantly in the world, and they're the ones who always provide these points. Like they're saying, oh, is this like the Daniel and Johnny feud? And I'm like, my mind is blown. I never even thought that. Thanks, Twitter, thanks, Instagram. So I feel like all these fan theories and everything else actually blow my mind a lot of the time, and they're right, kind of.
So what does choreography look like? I mean, there's a lot of action, which we love, but what does that mean physically from you guys?
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite aspects. If I'm being honest, probably my absolute favorite aspect of how unique this job is, that we get to do a lot of our own stunts. We've been supported and taught to the best of our ability to do as much as possible, which I think is cool because it in turn makes it feel more real when you're watching. The more that you see our faces and also performing the stunts, obviously we're well protected and taken care of, but the training process is not quick and easy. It's a lot of work to prepare your body to handle that kind of thing. And then the more that I've kind of thought about it over the last couple of years, we are learning martial arts, yes, and we're learning stunt work, but those can be two independent things, and doing them together is very different. Martial arts, the goal is to inflict pain and make contact. Stunt work, the goal is to create the image that you're inflicting pain and not actually inflict any pain. And then trying to do the two together, trying to learn how to throw a punch, and then trying to learn how to look like you're faking a punch without making it look like you're faking a punch, but you are, and you're not hitting the person, but also make it look like you hit the person. It's complicated.